Hey there, is a move to Kyle, Texas in your future and you don't know where to start? Well, you're in luck. My name is Rob Novak, your Hayes County Realtor, and I am here to show you around Kyle virtually so that you can get better acquainted with the town, where it is in relation to other places, what are some key areas or neighborhoods you might want to know about, and all that good stuff. Welcome to the channel. If you are interested in Hayes County, Kyle, Buda, all the other places, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you can stay updated when we drop more videos and you can learn more about the area. So, like I said, we're going to take a virtual tour on Google Maps. So let's go ahead and hop over to my computer and take a look. Hey everyone, let's take a look at Kyle here on Google Maps. So here we have Kyle laid out here with their political official city limits here in the orange dotted line around here. But I'll say, again, we'll kind of draw a circle-ish thing around kind of what we consider Kyle. We'll start up here, kind of go out this way. Kind of come around in here out to Euland almost. So really in there is all of what we would consider Kyle and where you would have a Kyle address. So you're not necessarily going to be in the city limits all the time. You may be in the ETJ or extraterritorial jurisdiction. Just means that there are certain things you can and can't vote for and certain things that the city can and can't tell you to do on your property. So, but let's take a look here. And zoom in on Kyle, and we'll go into the downtown area first. So this little green patch right here in the middle, that's going to be Mary Kyle Hartson Park or downtown Kyle Park. It's a very, very nice little area that's been redone over the last few years. There's a nice little park there, a gazebo, some, sitting benches and chairs and stuff like that. There's a Santa event every Christmas time. They'll have Santa out there to take pictures. Sometimes the Grinch shows up too. It's a lot of fun. Then there's also some markets that will take place throughout the year around here on this square. The yellow patch there, the Krug Activity Center or the Kyle Area Senior Zone, that is the old City Hall Courthouse building. The new City Hall is just over here. So, not very far from the old one to the new one. So, which is nice. And then you've got the Texas Pie Company right here. The whole reason that Kyle is the pie capital of Texas. So you've got that going on. And you've got the Railroad Depot Heritage Center, the VFW Auxiliary, and the Rail House, which is a really cool bar, entertainment center, stuff like that. A lot of live bands play there. There's a DJ there almost every day. I mean, they've got stuff going on all the time at the Rail House. It's a really cool place to check out. You've got a fire station down over here, just off the square, down in this area. And you've got quite a few nice little local food spots and barbershops and, pawn shops. My favorite Chinese food in the city right here, Hayes City Donuts and Chinese Cuisine. I think they're closed right now. They had some issues for the Chinese food. The donuts are still open, but they had some issue with the kitchen or something. But they should be open eventually. Down here is also the Kyle Public Library right over here. In this area, very nice library. We loved going to it when we lived in Kyle. It was, great little spot for us to go check out some stuff. And then a little further west here on Center Street, you've got a large kind of complex here around Greg Clark Park. And you're going to find baseball and softball fields, soccer fields, playgrounds, stuff like that, basketball court, Ash Pavilion, which is a really cool spot. It's basically purpose-built for rollerblading, roller skating, stuff like that. They've got a adult and junior roller hockey league going on there at Ash Pavilion, and there's also like special skate nights where they'll actually have a DJ playing music and stuff like that. Really cool little spot. And then that's right next to one of the middle schools over here, Wallace Middle School, right next to Greg Clark Park. So we'll zoom out a little bit here. Again, this is downtown area right in here, and like Old Town Kyle all through there. That's going to be the oldest houses that you can find, even some over here in the area. So basically, around Center Street, inside Old Stagecoach, kind of in there. So older homes will be in there, but there are some that have been like knocked down and built new. So there may be some opportunity to find stuff like that in that area. Let's look at kind of what's become, though, the new economic kind of hub and center of Kyle. And that's going to be right here at Kyle Parkway, and also a little further north at Kyle Crossing. We'll look at that one in a second. So at Kyle Parkway, you've got your H-E-B, you've got your Walmart, Target. What more do you need, right? Now there's a Hobby Lobby and an Academy over here, Lowe's as well. And then the big hospital complex is right next to it as well. So a lot of people consider this to be kind of the economic center of Kyle, since you do have all that stuff going on. And then there's a lot more development coming in through over here. There's going to be more, even more shops coming in here. You've got Chipotle's over here now. There's going to be a Kirby Lane Cafe in here eventually as well. So lots of really great food options around here. And then, like I said, the H-E-B and, all the other stuff that comes with that, the Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Lowe's, Academy, stuff like that over in here. And you've got some other kind of stores as well. The Goodwill is over here as well. So, and then, like I said, the hospital complex just east of kind of the Walmart area. Now, just north of here is also a burgeoning economic district that really just started popping up and popping off over the last couple of years. So we have it anchored here by Evo, which is a multi-entertainment district thing. It's a movie theater, arcade, bowling alley, all sorts of stuff right there. So at Evo, this is their first location, their original location, and then the Home Depot. And that's all you had for like ever. And then all of a sudden we got Costco and Torchy's and Starbucks and Via 313 and Willie's and, all this other stuff, this car wash. I mean, there's so much stuff in here. If I zoom in, the Pollo Campero, the P. Terry's, Tiff's Treats, all that stuff. So ton of dining options in here. There's a really cool pet paradise as well. If you want to get your pets taken care of there, it's like a boarding facility, I believe, grooming, training, I think vet as well. And then there's another pet store over here in this kind of center right here that doesn't really outline, that just kind of sells pet stuff, food, toys, all the accoutrement that goes with a pet. So those are kind of the two main commercial areas in Kyle right now. So this is called the Dry River District up here, up north. I'll circle that again. So Dry River District up there. And then this is just kind of like the Kyle Marketplace area down here. Now, there were some plans recently approved to do kind of an economic center right in here off of BB Road, close to I-35. So that's going to be coming up soon. And then there is also, if we go over this way, down from Kyle Crossing, from kind of the Costco, Evo, Home Depot area, and come up this way, or if you come up 1626, which is kind of the main, north-south artery once you get off of 35, from the H-E-B area, we've got this other area coming in over here, and I'm going to circle it here. I'm going to be kind of all up in this area called the Brick and Mortar District, and that is going to be kind of a mini Domain. If you know about the Domain in Austin, it's going to be a miniature version of that, essentially. So it's going to be ground floor will be commercial, and then above that will be like apartments and condos, stuff like that, for folks to live and walk down to whatever they need there for commerce as well. And that's right next to the Hayes School District Performing Arts Center, and then some other businesses here that have been coming up as well. Aviator, Code Ninjas, Summer Moon, Texican. La Ola Pop Shop is in here, which is one of my favorite places to go to get a little sweet treat, locally owned, Mexican style popsicles and stuff made out of all sorts of flavors. It's amazing. Go check it out. And then of course we've got the Plum Creek Golf Course over here. And that's all through here. All this green part pretty much is Plum Creek Golf Course, which is a great, awesome golf course if you're into that sort of thing. This is actually the home course for the Texas State golf clubs, golf teams, I guess, rather, because they are officially NCAA sanctioned. So they've got their own little facility there, but the practice facility at Plum Creek is fantastic. They've got a Top Tracer driving range, so it's like powered by Top Golf. So essentially you like download an app and it lets it ping you, tries to figure out where you are, and then it will kind of track your hits right there on the driving range, which is really cool. And then they've got a traditional putting green, and then they've got two other greens that are more for like chipping. So you could do some putting on them too. They've got different topography there, so you can kind of test things out, but mostly they're there for chipping, and they've just got a bunch of balls out there. You don't even need to buy a bucket of balls or anything to go chip. They just have a bunch out there, and it's really nice. You can go out of sand bunkers, test out your sand wedge, or any type of green side shot that you can think of. It's really awesome. I really enjoy it. So and it's a really nice little course. It's not the most challenging, but it's not the easiest. It's a nice kind of middle of the road course. I feel like that a lot of people will be pleased playing. So highly recommend it. If you're into golf, check that out. It's, there aren't a whole lot of golf courses in Hayes County. And this is one of the more prominent and well-known ones. So let's see, outside of those, let's talk about a few of kind of the major neighborhoods. And I mean, you can't really talk about Kyle neighborhoods without talking about the Plum Creek neighborhood, which is right next to the Plum Creek Golf Course, of course. So let me zoom out, make sure I can get all of it in here, because there's so much to Plum Creek, and it's expanding so much even now. This neighborhood was started in the early 2000s, and they're still building on it over 20 years later. But this is kind of the original area in here, and it will go through there, and then they're building more out in here. So basically all of that is going to be the Plum Creek neighborhood. Very large, lots of different types of houses. There are kind of townhomes, detached townhomes, up to huge 4,000 or 5,000 square foot homes right on the golf course, or an interior lot as well. So a lot of different types of homes to find in here. They do all kind of follow a similar style, which is, if you watch the video about the different price points, if we're in the 300,000 price point, one of those homes is in the Plum Creek neighborhood. You'll see it's like a coastal vibe. You're going to have siding painted in kind of like muted pastels generally. Not a whole lot of brick or limestone that's very popular in a lot of the other neighborhoods. So it's stylistically, it's very different from a lot of the other neighborhoods. And you got your white picket fence, white vinyl picket fence, which is pretty cool for a lot of people. A lot of people really like that. So that's kind of where the Plum Creek neighborhood is. And then right next to that is another very popular neighborhood called Hometown Kyle. A lot of folks really like this one. It's right here off of Veterans, between Veterans and Old Stagecoach. And it's one of the kind of neighborhoods that started again in the early 2000s. and they're not still building it. They finished that a while back, but a lot of people really like Hometown Kyle for their neighborhood and everything. So, and then behind Hometown Kyle, you've got two newer neighborhoods. One called Cypress Forest, and that was built out right here by Scott Felder and oh my goodness, Scott Felder and David Weekly Homes built in there in Cypress Forest neighborhood. So that's kind of a smaller neighborhood. They do have a pool, which is nice. And then you've got the Six Creeks neighborhood right next to it, which is going to go all around through here and will be expanding within that area. So Six Creeks neighborhood, they're currently building. They've got like 4 or 5 different builders in that neighborhood. So brand new. They just recently opened their pool, which is going to be in here. And then they've got this pond as well, which is really nice. So that's a really popular newer neighborhood. And I'll point out one more. If we go down 150 a little further, then we've got, oops, I think I'm going too far. Hang on. Yep, there we go. And then we've got this Anthem neighborhood right here, which is also new neighborhood, gonna be huge. They've got, they're gonna have a elementary school in that neighborhood, kind of like Plum Creek has an elementary school there, Negley Elementary. But they're going to be a very large neighborhood. If I had to kind of draw where all they're going to be, it's going to be kind of out in here, maybe even bigger than that. But they'll have several different builders to choose from in there and different style of homes. They're going to have like a mini lock and leave community in there. So if you're interested in something like that, Anthem would be really good for you. A little gated off area just for those folks. So they've got some really, really cool options coming in there in Anthem for people. And then if, we need to look at another neighborhood, I would say the Waterleaf neighborhood is also a very popular one over here on the east side of Kyle. Just draw a little thing around that. Let's see here. It's going to be this neighborhood right here. Got a huge park over here, Waterleaf Park, which is very popular. And folks, even who don't live in Waterleaf, will come and can enjoy Waterleaf Park as well. And it's a really nice little tight-knit neighborhood, really cool. A lot of people I know really like it. And I'll point out my old neighborhood just for fun. This is the Post Oak neighborhood here, also on the east side. So this area and then the Four Seasons and Arbornaut areas are one of the few areas on the east side of 35 that actually got zoned to Hayes High School, which is over this way, right here. And so, it used to be that, the west side of 35 went to Hayes and the east side went to Lehman High School, which is actually right here. But whenever the third high school in Hayes ISD got introduced, Johnson up in Buda, they did need to do some reconfiguration. So now there's a little bit of east of 35 that goes over to Hayes High School now. And let's see, I would also point out the Crosswinds neighborhood, which is also a new neighborhood that's still building. They've got several builders in here, and you're just south of Windy Hill Road. So remember, Windy Hill is kind of the zip code border between Kyle and Buda. So on this side, we got 78640. On to the north of Windy Hill, you got 78610. Buda up here, Kyle down here. So, but yeah, this is a really cool neighborhood, Crosswinds. They've got really amazing amenities, pool, dog park, playgrounds. Dog park's pretty unique around here. There aren't a whole lot of neighborhoods with a dog park. The only other one that I can think of is actually also over here on the east side, which is the Steeplechase Park. There's a dog park in here, and it's open to the public. It's not just for the Steeplechase neighborhood. But that is a public City of Kyle thing. It's just the Steeplechase Dog Park because that's the Steeplechase neighborhood over here. So let's see here. I mean, that's, kind of Kyle in a nutshell. Lake Kyle Park. I do need to point that out to you right in here, which is a really cool little spot. Unfortunately, it's been under construction, so we haven't been able to enjoy it lately. But this lake is actually a catch and release lake. So if you're into fishing and stuff like that, and don't want to go too far, you can come over here, do some catch and release. You can kayak and canoe out here, no swimming. But there's also some hiking trails and stuff like that. So you can walk around the lake, bike around the lake, stuff like that. This is also where the Pie in the Sky Festival is held, and the Kyle Textravaganza, which they're trying to figure those two out. And if they want to make one event, smush them both into one, or keep them separate. I think they should smush them into one. Things aren't big enough yet to really have two different, festivals run by the city right now. I feel like, but who knows? Other people may feel different. They're like having voting right now for residents of Kyle. But this is where the gathering of the Kyles will happen whenever Kyle does that, and that's when they try to get as many people named Kyle as possible, all in the same spot at the same time, and break a world record. Haven't done it yet, so still trying. So. But anyway, that is Kyle, really. I mean, that's it. It's growing. These borders are going to change. There's going to be new stuff all the time. If you're curious, reach out. We can help you kind of figure out what's going on here and where you might fit into all this and what might make sense for you and your family. And if y'all have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comments below. Questions can help us make more videos, so y'all can get the information that you need for this. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions about any of this as well directly. All of our contact information is in the description below. So thanks folks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.